Hello, and welcome to the behind the scenes for our Artlist B-Roll challenge entry. My name is Nick, and I've been a camera operator and cinematographer with 77 Productions just outside of Detroit, Michigan for about 10 years, and a parent for about 5 months. Using my baby daughter as the filming subject was a no-brainer, and also my wife's idea, but filming her in a way that made sense and didn't reveal her identity or likeness led to the selection of camera and lens packages. This piece was shot on a red Gemini 5K. I really wanted to take advantage of the sensor's ability to work well with natural light and still crank out those high frame rates that would help with the final look of the piece. The camera was built in a handheld build to lend that energy that I wanted. I shot this in a mixture of 4K, 5K, and 3K resolutions depending on lens coverage, and 24, 48, and 96 frames per second depending on the action. The primary lenses for this were part of a set of CP2s. I really wanted the sharpness that they could deliver while still being fast, which is super helpful when you're dealing with natural light, especially on some of these cloudy Michigan days we've been having. I used a 25mm, 35mm, and 50mm macro, with 35mm being the hero lens and the 50mm macro being used for some of the intense close-ups of objects and hands at play. For other specialty shots, I used a Cinewand probe lens. This lens is one of my favorite toys that we have at 77 Productions, and it always manages to come out to grab cool, weird shots that just really aren't otherwise possible. This set contains a 12, 16, 20, 24, 35, 40, and 60mm. I primarily use the 12, 16, and 24 for that larger-than-life feel that these objects and perspectives might have to a tiny 5-month-old. I tried to apply this lens whenever we were seeing something from the baby's perspective. These toys, devices, bowls, switches, bottles, everything is still new and interesting and weird to her, so let's make it feel that way. For some of the sequences of that kinetic action, I shot at as thin a shutter angle as possible when I could. This combined with a higher frame rate let me play with speed ramps and get a really crazy frenetic vibe out of some of the shots. Working with a baby is always tricky, and this was no exception. She was often more interested in the lens or the camera than she was her own toys, but in the end we got it done. Thank you guys for watching. We're happy to answer any questions in the comments or otherwise, and we can be found at 77productions.com.